Hi, welcome back to Miranda's Cauldron. Is it spring where you are? Apparently, it's supposed to be spring. I'm looking at my window and I see snow. A little bit of the field with patches of snow. More snow with last year's hay or straw. Guess it's hay. Sticking up. The side of the road is gravel. A little bit of icy snow, mostly gravel. I look at my yard, and on the east side of the house, there's still a snowdrift. Sure, it might not be 7 or 8 feet tall. It's more like, I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 feet high. The driveway is pretty good from where we park the vehicle to the road. It's all muddy in the front yard. There's patches of snow, patches of grass, so pretty normal. The driveway is pretty muddy, but on the other side of the house, there's snow. There's still a great big snowdrift. There's piles of snow where husband had pushed the snow over the winter because we had that much snow. It's only the middle of March. The snow needs to go. The snow really needs to go. And we have some friends pop in. Hello, hello. Welcome to Miranda's Cauldron. Welcome, spring. What's on your list for these sprints? For me, I probably should do some journaling and draw some tarot cards for myself and for the first day of spring. I may even do a spring spread. Maybe later in this chat breaks, maybe the next one or the one after. If you care to have a card drawn for you, put it in the chats. And if you're on the replay, put it in the comments that you'd want a card or two. And if you're not into tarot, what about a Monology card, Animal Spirit card, even a Cat's Against Anxiety, or Cat Wisdom? Your choice. Okay, we have CJ. Hello, good morning. Working on opening section of my last thesis chapter for these sprints. How are you today? Your last chapter? That's amazing. Amazing. I know you're going to do well on it. You've been working on it so hard. I'm doing pretty good. And good morning to Laura. I got a new story idea last night. Uh-oh. I would love a card. Okay. I will just shuffle up the Animal Spirit card. And then I will draw I'm assuming a tarot card for Laura. And the tiger jumped out. The tiger. Let's see what the book has to say about the tiger. Oh, and would you imagine that I actually opened it to the right page? Lunar force, ease and darkness, feminine energy. One in balance, passionate, strong, sensual, out of balance, overstimulant, to bring into balance, candle gazing. That's a really good idea, just to gaze into the candle. Okay, so I am going to, which card? Let's see. Let's go with the Lightseer deck. Here's the Lightseer deck. I'm going to use I'm just going to use the mini ones, because I have a couple of the larger ones out from when I drew the cards for my birthday, which was only a couple days ago. Actually, my last stream. One stream for my birthday, and this one is for the spring equinox. You know what that means. It's the spring equinox, which is the daylight and the darkness is at equal. Okay. Now, did I lock the door when I came upstairs? Because we have a door that the cats like to scratch. and that foam that keeps the door snug. Well, it's been destroyed a few times. So we have to remember, if it's really windy, to put the deadlock on, or it gets really cold in the house. Okay, I drew the card, and it's flipped over, the Empress. Well, this Empress, like many Empress cards, shows a pregnant woman. I don't know about you guys, but there's been a lot of pregnancies popping up in my inner circle. Well, not really inner circle. People I know. I guess a couple of family members. My daughter, as you all know, is expecting the end of July. Just found out that our niece is expecting in September. Not one baby, but two babies. Two babies. Yeah. So let's see what the Empress says. Empress, besides the obvious, I am ready to give birth to my abundantly rich future. Interesting. Just for the people here alone, I see. The light seer, the divine feminine, fertility, motherhood, unity, the goddess, nurturing, abundance, empathy, unconditional love. Yeah. Okay, so Laura is working on a Halloween romance, and that tarot was for Laura. Happy birthday, thank you. I'm pregnant with story ideas. It would be Immaculate Conception. Apparently that happens. Okay. So I, for one, will be, like I said, starting the sprint with just a little bit of journaling, a little bit of tarot carding for myself. And then hopefully the next sprint will be Leir. I did write up my book blurb for Leir yesterday. And if anyone is interested in having someone to look at it, Rachel Adams, who will be sprinting later today, and I'm pretty sure everybody here writes with Rachel. I sent it off to her yesterday. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm thinking I'll probably just continue with summarizing chapter 4. I'm summarizing as well as editing the book Leir. Okay, so that is it for today. Not today, for now. I'm going to share my timer, and I am going to just let it play out with 25 minutes. So I will see you in 25. Well, that was interesting. I looked up and the timer was already past where the cat should have meowed. So was the kitty cat sleeping? Maybe. Well, I got 2 pages written up in my journal. Sure, most of that was a catch up of the cards I drew during our last sprint together. So that was fun. And I was writing down how I got my book blurb all figured out yesterday. So that's a relief because I really, really want to have a proof copy soon. I originally, like in December, when I set up my goals, I wanted to have my proof copy of Leir in my at least uploaded and waiting on them for the end of quarter 1. And then suddenly me realized that I had to do all the book matter, the front matter. I had to double check with my cover artist, which just happens to be my bonus daughter, who volunteered to do my maps digitally. So that's good. So now that goal for my proof copy has been bumped to more realistically, like May or June. We'll just see how it goes. Okay, we have a new friend. Hello, Condra. I don't think I've seen you here before, so welcome, welcome. Laura had her puppy dog outside and now is back and has breakfast of her own. Heather, hello, hello. And now, oh, now he's in Laura's lap. Yes, I too sorry. I too did have a rather large lap dog. I had Rotties. And I swear they're one of the most cuddliest dogs ever. They're huge and they think they should sit on your lap. Yeah. Maybe I should read while I'm trapped. That's a good idea. That's one thing I do know, that if you have access to your book or even your phone when you have animals on you, you can always do that. Got some good content started, getting warmed up, and slowly getting into the flow. I can only imagine writing a thesis. Thinking the last time I did any kind of educational story, like writing, probably have been, yes, I'm dating myself, probably about 30 years ago. Yeah. Yep. Okay, so for the beginning of next sprint, I think I'm almost done the journaling. I probably should replace my empty coffee cup with some water. So I will do that. And actually, this is probably a good time, since I'm going downstairs to get my water. I should probably put away my pretty pink journal and figure out my task blocks from yesterday. Then I can start on editing. Because quite often when I don't do the journaling and the cards and the HB90 daily and mid stuff, I tend to not to get back to it. And then it's the next day, which really isn't a bad thing, considering that I write down, like, who, like, in my agenda, I write down who I sprint with or who I want to sprint with, because sometimes I don't. And kind of tentatively what I want to do during that sprint, but I usually don't do that until the day of. And there is a kitty climbing in my tree. But that happens when all the little ones are outside today, since it's that nice. And they're getting used to being outside because they're going to be outside kitties, because it's springtime now. Okay, we have another comment. Yeah, it's so much brain power. Might need another tea. And I'm excited to work on the story. That is amazing. It's something about starting a new story, right? But for me, I've been editing and revising for too long. And I just don't mean months, years. But I'm ready for it to be out in the world. So the kitty cat meowed. I'm just going to continue this with our sprint and see you in 24 minutes. that was the end of that sprint together. There's a reminder about mammograms. Yes, as a woman, you need them. Getting excited about a story is the best part of writing. Exactly. And if you're not excited writing it, then will the reader actually be excited to read it? I know I tried the whole different kind of, it was a similar genre. It was still kind of young adult, more new adult, because my characters were older. They were like in their early 20s. And I decided for once not to outline. I got about 30,000 words in and my story stopped. It just wasn't flowing. So I decided to put it away and start a new one. And that would have been Maple River. Still not done. I'm still drafting and revising all at the same time. But I'm getting there. Anyhow, I was listening to music, so I thought, hey, why not ask what music you're listening to? When I do my live streams, I go on Spotify on my phone because I can't trust my internet connection with my laptop. I could get booted. But I have noticed that since I've been using the kitty timer, it's running a lot smoother. However, since I started out using HK Darkwood's timers, the next sprint, I'm going to be using one of her timers. One of the kitty ones. So we're still using kitties. CJ, before she headed out to take care of house things, listens to a lot of Korean boy bands. It has high music energy and doesn't know the language. So it's because that's what I understand. A lot of people who don't listen to music with lyrics because they end up typing up the lyrics instead of your story. Laura says, I made a music playlist for my Halloween romance. It's got some angsty romance and Halloween music and some more sweet songs as well. I've yet to create any kind of music playlist. I just find something on YouTube. Usually it's Celtic music, fantasy, those fantasy ambiance musics, and I don't know why I'm drawing a blank. The Viking music. I'm listening to a lot of Viking, and sometimes there's lyrics, and I just don't understand them. But usually when I'm writing, the lyrics doesn't bother me. But I do know that when I was writing Witches of Solace, I listened to a lot of Celtic music on CDs. Yeah, CDs. I even have some cassettes. Well, at least have some cassettes, but I think I left them all at my parents' house when I moved out. The joys of being in the 80s. You listen to 8-track, and probably a lot of the younger people here are like, 8-tracks, what's an 8-track? Well, just a different form of listening to music, and of course records and CDs, cassettes, and now I have all these music CDs that I don't listen to because I don't have a CD player. I really should get one because on my laptop I don't have one of those devices to hook it up to. I don't have the CD player, whatever you call them, on my laptop. So I think I might have to do that. Might have to actually jump on Amazon to see if I can actually find just a CD player. Then I'm not going online and wasting up my internet just for music when I have all these random music. Vampire by Olivia, Somebody Watching Me by Rockwell, 3 a.m. by Boypick, Shameless, You Put a Spell on Me. Nice selection, even though I think I've only heard of Put a Spell on Me, and that's because of the movie. All the songs in this playlist are in English, surprisingly. Oh, okay. Well, that's the end of that break. Let's see. Oh, one more comment. I've been working on in my bullet journal and made my bed. Finally, making the bed. What a novel idea! I should actually try that. No, just kidding. I don't make the bed as precise and crisp as some people would think I should. I just throw the blankets over the sheets and call it a day. So I am going to switch up the next timer. I'm going to share screen, and I'm going to do the kitty timer from HK Darkwood. Just as a reminder, she sprints Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And after my sprints, Diane will be sprinting at the top of the hour. And I do believe Rachel will also be sprinting today. So, like, we're back to back to back. And I will see you in 25. And that's the end of that sprint. It was weird. I guess for whatever reason, my internet did not approve of the other kitty. So, because it stopped playing and then it popped off the screen and then it was just me. So, yes, I'm just going to stick with the Panadora kitty. It's safer that way. Heather was talking about how it's spring break and her husband's off work, so they've been spending family time together. I really enjoyed spring break when my kids were little. When we lived in the city, I don't drive. And in the city, you don't need to drive. We were walking distance to the pool, so if the weather was nice, we would just walk down to the pool. Sure, it might have taken 20 minutes, half an hour to get there, but that's okay. It was nice enough. And we usually stopped at the corner store to get a treat on the way back or maybe on the way there. Or we would go to the zoo or just go to the library, all these fun stuff. But then when we moved out into rural Saskatchewan, well, we didn't really do that kind of stuff. So I'm really glad that my kids were able to experience the city life as well as country life, because I, for one, grew up in the country. So I was used to going for walks in the woods and just hanging out, going walk down the old abandoned railroad track and all that fun stuff. And if I wanted to spend some time in town, just stayed a couple days at Grandma and Grandpa's. So that was good. Heather also shares we're going out in a small town near us tomorrow for a little staycation. Oh, fun. Okay, so I got back to doing up some chapter summaries. I'm halfway through this chapter. Oh, maybe not halfway through. We'll just say halfway through. Because I'm on page 4, and it goes to only half of page 9. So I guess I'm about halfway there. I had to first clean up from what I was working on the previous day, which was my mats for Witches of Solace. If you're a part of Publish and Thrive, and if you haven't had the chance to sign up for their mastermind group, that's with the Publish and Thrive course, I highly recommend it. It has been so much fun. My group, there's only 3 of us because one of the 4 just never contacted us. So anyhow, that was okay. So there's 3 of us, and it has been so much fun reading other people's stories and commenting and doing suggestions and just seeing how other people write and talk to other people about their writing process. It has been fantastic, just fantastic. So this week is our critique week. So we have to read one of the chapters, and then we get together once a week and we just talk about it and what we thought of it and how we think it could be improved. And I'm telling you, when you're a Canadian, when you're partnered up with someone from other countries, and you get to learn a lot of like their local lingo, like a trolley, a tram, what was the other one? A fat lighter, which is something like kindling that we would call up in Canada. So it's been fun. So this will be our last sprint together. I'm going to dial it back for 15 minutes because Diane will be hosting in 20 minutes. So I'm going to dial it back when the little kitty stops. So if you haven't had a break at all, maybe take a break now if you're going to be sprinting with with Diane, because of course right after Diane is Rachel. Then we have a little bit, and then as far as the heart breathings sprints, they're done for today after Diane, and then if you sprint with Rachel, because Jody Jean is away. She's one of the lucky ones that gets to go spend some time with other Hardies at HardyCon. Okay, so here goes. I'm going to dial it back, even though it says 12 minutes, but I am going to change it. Oh, that's because it was 12 minutes. Change it to 50, well, not 105, 15 minutes. See you in 15. Hello. I just love those phone calls. Like I got to talk to my daughter again. Okay, there's a comment. Let's see the comment. Okay. The other Rita popped in to say hello. Hello, hello. And that is it for me. I also have a text to return. My cousin, I guess I didn't tell him that my daughter was getting married. It's like, oh my goodness, all these things that I just forget about and don't think of. And I'm going to stop sharing my screen because we don't need the kitty anymore. Okay, so that is it. I already said that. And I will see you guys over at Diane's Prints in a little bit. First, I'm going to have my lunch. And then I'll get back up to working on Leir. Maybe I'll actually finish the summary of this chapter and then go back into my document and type up all the little edits that I've done. Again, all I can say is editing and revising is taking me much longer than the actual writing the first draft. But that's the way it is. The first draft or the dirty draft or the zero draft is just to get the words on paper. So I will see you. Oh, and I am going to be doing a pop-up on Saturday. I wasn't 100% sure if I'd be able to because husband said something about an oil change on the vehicle, which means another day to town. But now we're not doing that until Monday or Tuesday. So I probably won't be sprinting on Monday. So we'll be sprinting Saturday instead of Monday. Unless, of course, I'm home on Monday, and then it'll be just pop-up kind of deal. So keep an eye on the thumbnails on my channel. Bye-bye.